On next, we have Ashla Elif Koch, the marketing director of Istanbul Başakşehir. Başakşehir is a really interesting case study as well. Sort of quite a new club in the scheme of things. 1990 was when they were founded in such a populous area of Istanbul. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. I'll pass over to you.
Thank you, Charles. Let me share my screen first. Great. Okay, it's an honor. Thank you very much for having me here today to talk about our project along with all of the other amazing projects. Seriously, they're all fantastic so far. So our concept with the We Make It Green is a kind of recycling process based on the same natural fact of life. It is balance, but we get there. And before we start, let me briefly tell you about my club for those who does not hear about us yet. I promise it's briefly. So we have been founded in 2014 with a very rare operational model in Turkey, private ownership. And despite we're only 7 years old today, our success on and off the pitch has been very sustainable. And I'm just putting the second half of the previous season aside for those who just checked it online, and because it's another story. So back to the main story. We have constantly been in UEFA competitions for the first 6 years and just won the on the sixth year of us. We became the sixth champion of Turkish Super League and qualified directly for the Champions League group stage. And being a social club has always been a part of our DNA and one of our biggest goals. We thought this great honor, having the title and also being able to compete in the Champions League, gives us both a great responsibility and opportunity to promote what we wanted to highlight on a greater stage. That was actually our kickoff point when we first started this project. So as a social club, our social approach consists of 3 pillars: health, education, and environmental sustainability. And starting with the health, our name partner is a private hospital, and we really are not much selective of the project when it comes to health. And we are working on promoting some rare illnesses and doing some helping campaigns around them when possible, with the participation of our players, of course. And education is, on the other hand, something we put much value. This is why we started our own professional football management certificate program last season. It is unique because it's the first and only program in Turkey that a club organizes with its own human resources, and without external collaborations. And it is free for the participants, and we obviously have a certain quota of that. And for the last, environmental sustainability, we may start with that we all have our personal daily practices, let's say. The coffee we have in the morning, the shirt we wear, or just simply breathing, they all have some negative footprints, negative effects on nature. And just like in the personal, as corporations, as brands, and as football clubs, we also have our daily operations, and obviously all of them have a few or a lot carbon footprint, water footprint, and etc. And the idea for us from the beginning has been to try to keep the balance at first between we take and we give. Our main goal is to make what we give is even more than what we take in the mid and long term. As highlighted in the IPCC report, trees and oceans are still our best allies against the warming of the planet for some reason, because they both have an emission capacity of that unwanted gases, which also cause the warming at the first place. The problem starts when human activities, when our activities start to act against them. And unfortunately, our kids are one of them. So in a football club point of view, in a marketing point of view, we all know that shirts are essential, very important for teams. They're our main assets to speak to mass audience about the ID, our DNA, our culture, strengths. And lately, they're becoming more important to tell our stories, particularly alternative kits. I personally consider them as our playgrounds, as we don't have to be attached to the main colors, the colors of crest, and etc. That's why we decided to tell a very important story to a mass audience on a very important stage, as in the Champions League, becoming the voice of nature, if you may say. So in accordance with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, we decided to make a buzz around the Goal 13, Climate Act, and trees were our main message. So that's why our green color kit last season pointed out the importance of forestation in the fight of our planet against climate change, and also pointed out increasing numbers of forest fires, which are getting more common day by day, particularly in Mediterranean countries, and also because of the global warming. So what we did, we promised to our fans all football people actually to change every green shirt they buy from Başakşehir store into a tree in nature so that we do the balance for them. We collaborated with According, our project partner, a local startup, and also offers eco-friendly solutions to our daily practices. And we provided a very tech-related short activation process. It consists of 2 steps of activations and followed by 3 steps of customized communication. When you buy a green shirt, scanning the QR code that provided on the label of the shirt, which you may also see on the left side of the slide, you go to the campaign page and register with your data and choose the seat kind. And optionally, you're able to share what you do on your social channels. So far, it's the activation process. And right after, you get an email with the operations details. This is the first step of customized communication. After the operation, you get another email with the operation video in it and also shareable on social channels. And after 8 or 12 months, let's say, later, according to the growing of trees, how green the area got, you get another email, a last email of the greener area. So now I'd like to show you the second operation video with our partner, According. So by this project, beside the message we wanted to highlight to community, we also wanted to highlight how important we find tech-driven smart solutions in fan engagement as a very young club, and how we put technology in the center of our fan engagement approach. And also being able to communicate to individuals are as important as to mass audience in regards of managing customization. So what we did also in this project, we had 3 of our players, national and international players, as the ambassadors of our projects. We have been in the modern football weeks of EFTN to expand our reach, and eventually beside Turkey, we reached out to 41 million people around Europe in the just first edition of the event, still waiting to get the second impact report as well. These are some operations visuals. And also with Socios, our partner, they have supported us, supported this cause in a fantastic way. They changed their logo on the International Day of Forests, and this is what we did together in the International Day of Forests. Well, luckily for us, we had a game just on the International Day of Forest, but unfortunately, the main color of the opponent team was green, so we couldn't just wear the green shirts, but instead we had special T-shirts for the pre-match warming, and we put a message on them, and we picked the message with our fans, with IBFK fan token holders via socials application. And this is another activation we did again with socials on the Environmental Sustainability Day in Modern Football Weeks, EFTN. So this is what we achieved so far. I mean, to be honest, when I look at the 10,000 seed balls, the only thing I feel is happy and proud on behalf of my club and personally. So, and I'll just share you some heads up for the next season's campaign for us. So to sum up, football clubs are becoming to have social IDs, identities, and fans put a close interest in this, and they want their clubs to be more than football. And when it comes to a sponsor point of view, by a social cause, football becomes more attractive to brands. And football brands supporting a social cause, they're absolutely more attractive to brands because the social problems are bigger than the colors, and this football expands their audience, the brand's audience, and certainly give them a stage that is hard to ignore.
Fantastic. So we got some time for a question here, and I think I intimated it a little bit at the end of the introduction for it. So Istanbul is such a crowded market for football. The Başakşehir is such a new sort of entity there as well. So how do you feel like you're appealing to a fan base of people that are maybe more on the yellow and the orange and red side of the city? And do you feel, what sort of initiatives have you done? I know you've done a lot of work with the women of the city as well and things like that, creating jobs. So is that your sort of way in to sort of find that connection as well as being successful quite quickly?
Well, to be honest, I mean, when we first designed this project, there was no pandemic. So, I mean, we try to get, as possible as, more engaged with the fans, but with all of them, with mass audience especially, not just with our fans in Istanbul. So, I mean, it's a world issue. It's not just a city issue. It's not a team's issue. So, but given the circumstances of the pandemic circumstances, luckily for us, we designed the whole process of activation like touchless. So it helped us a little bit because, you didn't have to touch anything except the shirt to activate the shirt. I mean, to give something good to nature. So that helped us a bit, let's say.
Absolutely. Is it, and the recyclable nature of the alternative shirt, the third shirt, is that something you're looking to spread across all the sort of major production items you create for the club?
I couldn't really understand the question.
The recyclable nature, the sort of greener shirt initiative, is that something you're looking to do sort of across the home and the away shirt as well?
For the next season, for the upcoming seasons, you mean? Yes. Yeah, I mean, as on the heads up, yeah, we are really planning to make it a bit, bigger, let's say, around another serious issue in these days, and not just in Istanbul and Turkey, but also whole world. But we remain with the Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations. And we promote the issues.
Fantastic. So, and that's brilliant. It's a really interesting project. And yeah, please do get in touch with Ashley as well if you want to hear more about it.